Then I go to Natasa, and I will end it.
Your Excellency, President John, distinguished colleagues, fellow communication professionals, students, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. Knowledge Sharing Conference. Over the past 3 days here in Accra, we have not only exchanged ideas, but we have also affirmed the power of communication in shaping Africa's future. Communication has always been Africa's heartbeat. From oral traditions to today's digital platforms, it has built communities and driven change. But today's realities, such as artificial intelligence, climate change, and economic transitions, call for us to communicate with greater clarity, stronger purpose, and deeper effectiveness. This conference has been a journey of reflection and discovery, its use, and the role of communication as the bridge between innovation and impact. These conversations have shown us that Africa's future will be defined by our collective commitment to the use of communication to inform, inspire, and to transform. As we leave Accra, let us commit to communicating better and more effectively. Better by grounding our work in truth, transparency, and trust. Better by celebrating our cultural diversity as Africa's unique contribution to the world. More effectively by ensuring our words do not just explain, but they inspire action. This conference has also shown the power of collaboration. IPR Ghana, APRA, IPRA, PRSK. As we close, let us hold fast to our theme, Global Realities and Innovation Communications. Africa is part of these global realities, but Africa must also shape them. Let us tell our story with clarity. Let us tell our stories with creativity. Let us tell our stories with conviction. When the world speaks of communication excellence, let Africa not be a footnote. Let Africa and may communication continue to light the path for Africa's transformation.
Good morning, or is it afternoon already? I'm not aware. And welcome, all of you. I don't want to forget, because I think it's important, and before I start, I want to congratulate all of you. Very important milestone for Ghana, Independence Day. That was 2 days ago. Yeah, and maybe we should remind ourselves every day on this important milestone. I would like to express gratitude to Your Excellency, Mr. President, not only, and also to the ambassador of my country, Mr. Stanovic, who is here also with us today. It is important to become President of IPRA very soon, because we should be united, as my colleague said, not only in sharing ideas, but in actions as well. Association, as International Public Relations Association, is 70 years old, global association with a mission that sounds really simple. Leading trust and ethics in communication. Yeah, you can remember that. Sounds simple, understandable. But it's not so easy to achieve. Because leadership today is about serving community, serving people, serving your country, serving the world to become a better place. And we have to have that in mind. Coming to trust as our next word in our mission, you are aware that global realities today, we have a lack of trust. We don't trust anyone. We don't trust institutions, media, no, almost no one, and it's not global communications. And this is not a jewelry, it's IPRA office chain, and it has the names of all presidents in the last 70 years. So I'm really glad that this chain will go to my sister and my colleague very soon. Years ago in London, Downing Street 10, UK. 2 years ago, this chain came to a small country, first elected president of Global Association in the whole Balkans. And now I'm so happy that this chain came with me not for a visit, but to stay in Ghana. I will leave it here because that knows exactly what that we want to have today.
Excellency, honorable ministers, Your Excellency, Ambassador, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my fellow IPR members, image is everything. Image is everything, and we have done it. Let's clap for ourselves. We have shown IPR an army of excellent professionals who will be protecting the chain. A man of the land. Is indeed our man. He is a PR professional, and everybody knows. But then it will not be protected as a tool of oppression. It will not be protected as something that we possess, that is ours. That is not our profession. Our profession is one that think what people want, and based on that, develop messaging that engages with their hearts and their minds in Ghana. Whether it's in that community where my brother Major Don Chebi was talking about so passionately yesterday, a community that does not even know that AI exists, but recognizes that hunger exists. A community that doesn't care about AI, but cares about that child that is lying in a hospital dying. If we are not able to engage with AI in a manner that engages with the reality of our country, then you and I have failed, and this badge was brought here for nothing. Rivers flow in between towns. They join rivers in other countries, and indeed, they become continental waters. Air blows across homes into different towns and continents. We can't tell Ghana Air from British Air or American Air, can we? No. Human beings move from country to country. Our realities are the same. They either help us to innovate and become better, or they oppress us. One thing that flows across all, and that is the tool that we have in our hands. And that is why we have to share ideas. Let's not wait till there's a COVID that is killing us before we start thinking of how we can share ideas on communicating the prevention of COVID. Let's do it now. And that is what we have done, Your Excellency. That is what we have sought to do. Ghana has done it. We are joining hands with the rest of Africa to do this. Africa has the ability to lead. We're leading in this. And by God's own grace and divine intervention, I happen to be taking this global position. Please come with me, every one of you. Thank you. Design what we call communication diplomacy, which will work across countries. We want to use communication as a tool to heal the world. The world needs healing. Let's heal the world. Let's heal the world. Standing together to heal the world. Let's hear the song, Heal the World, as we celebrate Kate. And thanks to AI, we will be speaking one language very soon because AI can translate every one of them. And Ghana has already started doing that. Let's heal the world through communication.
Much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there's
think about the generation.
Put your hands together one more time. For Madam Esther Koba, Mr. Ari Karani, Madam Natasha Bujas. A round of applause for them all. And that, my friends, was the communication manifesto. Please put your hands together one more time. And because of your example, Madam Esther Koba, Madam Natasha Bujas, every young Ghanaian girl and African girl can certainly reimagine their future, one of infinite possibilities. As a matter of fact, my very own sister, Swat Bawa Pencil, has been appointed as a Chartered Institute of Public Relations Council member, a woman whose career started right here in Ghana with Swivel Advertising and with Vodafone Ghana, and now oversees corporate and B2B public relations and social media for Europe, Middle East, and Africa for Canon. Please, let's celebrate Ghanaian women and how far they're taking public relations. We're called on to service. We're called on to trust. These are the qualities that are embodied in our brother, who is a distinguished fellow of the Chartered Institute of Public Relations, Ghana. He speaks to us from his heart. Please, I ask that you lend him your very undivided attention. I give to you the President of our Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you. Kindly be seated. Thank you. And I join my sister Esther to assure Natasha and all of you that the badge is in a good place. And so let me acknowledge my sister Esther Koba, Ministers of State present here, Honorable Godfred Kabeyanga, who's a guest from Uganda, Minister of State, Madam Natasha Pavlovic, Arik, you were on stage with that beautiful Michael Jackson song. I used that song myself in the UN in 2016 to deliver my message to the world. It's a powerful song. And then Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia is here with us. Council members of the Institute of Public Relations, ladies and gentlemen, our friends and friends of the media. I believe that it is a great joy for me to be here with you today among my fellow communications professionals. And I warmly wish to welcome our international guests who have traveled to Ghana for this all-important knowledge-sharing conference. I speak not only as the President of the Republic of Ghana, but also as a proud member and indeed a fellow of the Institute of Public Relations, Ghana. And also as a member of the African Public Relations Association. The expressions of solidarity we have heard this morning from leaders of IPR Ghana, APRA, and on reaching 70 years of professional excellence. That is 7 decades of build led by my sister Esther Koba visited me at the presidency. And they shared with me the plans for this very conference and for the Golden World Awards to be hosted here in Accra. I was delighted because I immediately recognized that these events mean not only for the growth of our profession, but also for positioning Ghana as a hub for international dialogue in communications and public relations. And it's significant that this gathering comes just weeks after we celebrated our Founders Day on September 21st in honor of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, our nation's first president. And he was one of Africa's most visionary leaders. Indeed, his words in Addis Ababa in 1963, where he said, "We must unite or we perish." These words remain as relevant today as they were 6 decades ago when they were spoken. It is therefore fitting that Accra now hosts the headquarters of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is one of the flagship projects of the AU's Agenda 2063, seeking to deepen Africa's integration and prosperity. And so in many ways, we stand today on the shoulders of Nkrumah's vision for unity, strength, and collective progress. The strong mandate my party, the National Democratic Congress, received in last December's election was a call to rescue, reset, and renew our country. When I took office in January, Ghana faced a challenging situation. We had an unsustainable debt, we had high inflation, and a loss of confidence both at home and abroad. And I'm pleased to report that the urgent reforms that we started implementing have led to a gradual improvement in our economic situation. Inflation has decreased, the currency is relatively stable, business confidence has risen, FDI inflows have increased, and our credit rating has improved from junk to B- with a stable outlook. But at the core of our reset agenda must be not only transparency and accountability in governance, but also clarity in how we communicate with our citizens so that they can be involved in the journey of transformation that we are undertaking. And one of the most urgent issues facing us today is the distraction caused by illegal mining, commonly known as galamsey. This activity has resulted in river pollution, deforestation, and the exposure of our citizens to toxic chemicals. And so since taking office, my government has responded decisively, seizing equipment, making arrests, and monitoring excavators. But enforcement alone is not enough. And that is why we've introduced the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program. This initiative supports legal cooperative mining. It restores degraded lands and offers alternative livelihoods to our youth who are involved in this illegal activity. But despite some success in combating this illegal activity, there is much anxiety amongst our people because we have failed to convey the full extent of the destruction and the difficult battle needed to root out a problem that has deeply embedded itself in our nation's fabric. And that is why government has decided to initiate a dialogue with recognized groups, starting with CSOs today, to not only involve Ghanaians, but also give them ownership of the fight against illegal mining. Future dialogues will be held with traditional rulers and religious leaders. And I'm pleased that IPR Ghana, in a robust statement they issued in 2024, called for the adoption of a comprehensive behavior change communication strategy as part of the national response to galamsey. I support that vision 100%. To ownership, enforcement cannot succeed. Today, the new media offers us the tools to connect with our audiences in ways that were previously impossible. However, these same tools can also enable miscommunication and the spread of disinformation. And so as professionals in public communications, we need to identify the most effective ways to manage these new media channels to positively shape the perceptions and attitudes of our audience. Another key theme of this conference, public relations and artificial intelligence, is timely because technology offers vast opportunities. AI can enhance productivity, support climate initiatives, and improve storytelling in our profession. However, sow division amongst people and undermine trust. For Africa, the challenge is to adopt AI ethically and strategically, developing our own frameworks that uplift our people, even as we build partnerships with the rest of the world. Is between crucial for supporting any initiative or policy in this current era. A good example is the Japanese Africa Hometowns Initiative. I'm sure some Japanese towns and cities with their African counterparts for cultural exchange and knowledge sharing. Enter misinformation. Misinformation that the initiative was aimed at facilitating African migration to Japan led to strong public resentment, resulting, unfortunately, in the cancelling of the program. A well-meaning idea became a victim of poor communications and misunderstanding. It reminds us all that our role as communications professionals is to anticipate, explain, and connect to ensure that the noble ideas that we have do not fail because of a lack of clarity and engagement. This year, the African Union has designed 2025 to 2030 as a decade of reparations, and I've been honored to serve as the AU champion on reparations. Reparations for the transatlantic slave trade are not a matter of clarity, but they are a matter of justice. Because the facts are clear. Millions of Africans were enslaved, transported across the seas, and forced to build wealth for other nations. When abolition of slavery arrived, it was the slave owners who were compensated for loss of property, and that property was human beings, and not the enslaved or the descendants of slaves. That injustice, I dare say, remains the greatest crime against humanity to date. And like I said at the UN, Ghana intends to move a motion to that effect at the UN General Assembly next year. And so when we talk about reparations, voices like Professor Sir Hilary Beckless of the CARICOM Reparations Commission have rightly described reparations as a call for collaborative development partnerships. And significantly, Laura Trevelyan, who has acknowledged her family's role in slavery and is now advocating for reparative action, demonstrates the power of human connection in advancing justice. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, this international gathering in Accra is a source of pride for Ghana and a testament to our shared commitment to professional excellence. And so as we celebrate the progress of our profession, let us also celebrate one of our own. And I join you in congratulating and celebrating Ms. Esther Koba on her election as the incoming president of IPRA. Esther's leadership is an inspiration, and her elevation reflects the strength of Ghanaian and African voices on the global continent. And to our international guests who have joined us, I encourage you to explore Accra just not only within the confines of this conference hall. I suggest you visit the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, you visit the Black Star Square, you visit our Independence Arc, and take home with you not only memories of our history, but also the warmth and resilience of the Ghanaian people. And so as you continue your deliberations, may your exchanges strengthen our profession, inspire hope in our society, and contribute to the renewal of Africa and the rest of the world. I thank you. May God...
Ladies and gentlemen, the tide that lifts our boats, the President of our Republic, and our very dear fellow of the Institute of Public Relations Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Please make it warm and heartfelt once again. We thank you, Mr. President, for articulating so well the power of human connection as we explore innovative communication in this era of global realities. Shortly at the end, Mr. President, if it pleases you, we would like to have you up here again for 4 photographs. I would have wanted, ladies and gentlemen, our very own golden tree chocolates produced right here in Ghana by Cocoa Processing Company, a subsidiary of Cocoa Board, is treating everyone to a taste of Ghana. You will all be served chocolate bars. How about that? Please welcome to join His Excellency the President, our very own President of IPR, the President of the International Public Relations Association and the Africa Public Relations Association. A round of applause as they come up. that the following stand in readiness. Bring the music down. Humbly I invite to join the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources of the Republic of Ghana, the Minister of State of ICT of the Republic of Uganda, and the Ambassador of Serbia to Ghana. Would you please make them welcome with a round of applause? For the third photo, I ask that the following please stand in readiness. The Secretary General of APRA, the Secretary General of IPRA, the President of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, the Director and Global Head. For the last photo, we would like to have up here all the council members of IPR Ghana, together with our very own distinguished fellow, the Honorable Echo Spio Gabra. Please make them welcome with a round of applause.
Life gets so many roots, just one way could give you fruit. Brother, we have suffered all.
Please put your hands together one more time. Kindly I ask that we all be seated as we prepare to receive the national salute. Before that, however, it falls to me on behalf of the IPR Ghana, together with APRA and the IPRA, to say a big thank you to you, our guest of honor, the President of our Republic, for honoring us and for encouraging us with your words. Please be assured that your words have not fallen on barren ground, they've fallen on very fertile ground, and we certainly will make you proud through our deliberations. To this end, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I ask that we all rise as we observe the national anthem of the Republic of Ghana, as we see the President of our Republic off. May God bless you, Mr. President. May God bless us all and our homeland Ghana, and may God bless our fraternity as communication. Please remain seated, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. We'll officially announce the next venue for this conference, after which we shall have a 10-minute presentation from the Jospong Group Ghana, and thereafter we shall break off for lunch. In the meantime, let's have some music. This is where you play Shatawali.
1, 2, 3, 4. Former Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila has been sentenced to death in absentia for war crimes and treason. The charges concern accusations that Kabila has been supporting the M23, a rebel group who have wreaked devastation across the country's eastern region. Mr. Kabila was convicted on Friday by a military court of treason. He denied the charges but did not appear in court to defend himself. The ex-president rejected the case as arbitrary and said the courts were being used as an instrument of oppression. His current whereabouts are unknown. The court also ordered him to pay a fine of $33 billion. One of his allies and a former minister, Kikaya bin Karubi, said the whole trial had been theatrical and was an example of the dictatorship of President Felix Tshisekedi. He said the court had not seen any evidence linking Kabila to the M23 rebel group. M23 leader Bertrand Bisimwa said on X that the sentence was a violation of the peace talks which were underway with the government. Mr. Kabila, 54, led DR Congo for 18 years after succeeding his father Laurent, who was shot dead in 2001. Mr. Kabila backed Tshisekedi in the disputed 2019 elections, but they later fell out and Mr. Kabila went into self-imposed exile in 2023. In April this year, the former president said he wanted to help find a solution to the deadly fighting in the east and arrived in the M23 held city of Goma the following month. President Tshisekedi accused Mr. Kabila of being the brains behind the M23, and senators stripped him of his legal immunity, paving the way for his prosecution. Decades of conflict had escalated earlier this year when the M23 seized control of large parts of the mineral-rich east, including Goma, accused neighboring Rwanda of backing the M23 and sending thousands of its soldiers into DR Congo. But Kigali denies the charges, saying it is acting to stop the conflict from spilling over into its territory. A ceasefire